Here's the drama. The head of drama at the BBC goes up to the Edinburgh TV conference and just gives a big speech about how the TV industry is racist. Something's gone wrong. It's not diverse. Why don't they talk about drama instead of racism and diversity? What's up with these guys? Why do they think that we want their party political broadcasts? Because we don't, do we?
Well, this guy actually has got a history for defending the whole woke idea. He was doing this last year, actually. And I think it's a classic example of the disconnect between real people who watch television and these people who are in charge of the BBC, are in charge of our money that we give them.
Yeah.
For
now, Neil, for now.
Without any offer through the license fee. And they come from this cabal of people from, they will all live in the centre of London. They all work in the centre of London. They're all middle class. They all went to university. They're all white.
And they're all on six-figure salaries. And they're not just in the BBC. They're in all these sort of... It's like a merry-go-round of jobs, isn't it?
As Neil says, but let's not forget, they're all white.
Yeah.
Well, his boss, who also was talking on this thing and said very similar things, Charlotte Moore, she's just so classic. She privately educated. These people do not live in a. I come from a working class council estate, single parent family. I was lucky. I went to a grammar school, but. People like me, even to this day, although, it'd be outrageous for me to call myself working class anymore, but to come from that background, look at people like this talking down to me. And I think, what do real people think? Those, all those red wall seats that turned blue at the last election, they all sit and think, what the hell is this guy talking about? And not only that, Kevin, they also say, who the hell is he to lecture me?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's it, isn't it? They talk down to you constantly.
Yeah. And of course, as we know, the BBC has just taken a sizable portion of our money, as in £100 million, and it is spending it on diversity. So as you say, Charlotte Moore is busy saying, diversity on screen and off screen has never been more important to the BBC. Let's talk about diversity. I think what they mean by that is, we've got a lot of dramas with black people in them. What about the diversity of getting some people involved in the BBC who are white, working class, from the north, didn't go to Oxford, haven't got educational qualifications, didn't go to private school, that kind of diversity.
Like the people they used to have.
Yeah, that kind of diversity. Will we see any of that, do you think, spent on this 100 million? Will it be spent on that? I bet it won't be.
Well, there's a very clever TV journalist who basically got elbowed out of Channel 4 because he was too old, was on Twitter the other day, and I retweeted, got tremendous reaction, saying exactly your point, really, Kevin, which is, when are some of these people going to be older? When are they going to have gone to secondary school? When are they going to be ordinary people who didn't go to university, who don't come from this middle class background? And actually, if you go up, I was last week up in the northeast on a break, amongst what used to be those coalfields. You know what? The people there watch television. They do not know what this guy is talking about. They see no issues. It's completely created by these people who, you know what they do, Kevin?
Yeah.
And you and I have both been in newspapers we're in newspapers for many years. The greatest danger is you talk to each other too much. You listen to yourself.
Good point.
Too many meetings and focus groups.
The issue. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I used to work with a guy, I think Kevin did as well, a guy called Kelvin Mackenzie.
Oh, yeah.
And we used to have to go to these focus groups. He was the editor of The Sun at the time. And we used to have to go to these focus groups that he would introduce. And then he'd walk out and leave us to it, sort of listening to these people telling us this, that, and the other, whatever. He was completely not interested. He was the most successful editor of The Sun ever, of course. But, they work off algorithms. They work off, focus groups, as you said, Ash. And you look at it and you think, if they were more real people, maybe they would get it more, and they wouldn't have the problem they have, which is crashing viewing figures. And young people in particular have no cognizance of what these people are talking about and what they're putting on the screen. And you know what they do? They turn on to Netflix, they turn on to Amazon Prime, etc., and walk away in groves. I've got a son of 26 who has not watched the BBC. I specifically asked him this the other day, since he sat next to me watching TV when he was about 15. Just don't watch BBC.
You used to have one commissioning guy, didn't you? Now you've got focus group. You used to have one guy in the old days who knew what he was doing, who would just commission funny shows and good shows, and it worked.
Like BBC One controllers like Billy Cotton.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Bill Cotton was just a man of the people who understood good old-fashioned entertainment. Now you have politicians basically deciding what is healthy and woke.
Well, that is actually true. A former Labour cabinet minister is the guy who has created BBC Sounds. He was a Labour cabinet minister. He'd never worked in the entertainment industry. You know, what does he know? I mean, it's all this is television, this is entertainment done to a formula, and it's a formula that's been agreed by some lovely white middle class university educated people who live in West London.
Yeah, Central London. I love that all this with BBC because it's very diverse. £100 million we're going to spend on diversity, and then at the top, what's his name? Tony Hall, Lord Hall of Birkenhead, the outgoing man of the people, Director General, is replaced by another white, middle-aged, public school educated, Oxbridge graduate. Nothing changes at the BBC. There's diversity in a pretend way at a lower level, but never at the top. Plus ça change. And I wonder if we just move out to the obvious topic, you know, this business of Land of Hope and Glory and Rule Britannia being kind of dumb to death, but I know it's really interesting the public. I think this is the BBC ramming the final coffin nails into its own death. I mean, this is the chasm, the schism between the BBC audience, its customers, its core audience, and the people who run that organisation is getting dangerously wide. And when they really think they can announce, oh, we're not going to be playing Land of Hope and Glory or Rule Britannia, and they really think they can get away with that, they can't get away with it. We could be seeing the beginning of the end of this organisation, couldn't we?
Well, one of the things that has struck me is that this decision was led by the lady who is going to be the conductor on the final night, who's
from Finland,
a 27-year-old woman from Finland who is a huge believer in the causes of Black Lives Matter. I mean, you know, if you're one of those core BBC Last Night of the Proms aficionados, what the hell is this saying to them? I tell you what it's saying to them, because actually this guy, Piers Wenger, said something like this last year. He said, I'm not interested really in what you might call the core BBC audience. I've got to reach out beyond that. You know, forget the people who actually turn it on every night and watch it and believe in it and want it. I mean, it's a really important thing in very many people's lives. And he said, forget them. What I'm interested in is noughts and crosses. What I'm interested in is these kind of challenging things, pushing that diversity.
Yeah,